Hey, drop. Yeah, hey, drop.
Welcome. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Happy Mother's Day, belated to the mothers out there in the world and those who play those roles. Good weekend. We back live and in living color. Another episode of the Audible. I am your host, the God of Diets. How you doing, Miss Murs? Yeah. Yes. Got a lot to kind of break down. Wild weekend. We are now down to the NBA Conference Finals. Tonight's episode is going to be mainly dedicated to the NBA, not all necessarily on the court, but we're going to talk about some stuff that's happened off the court and could be potentially happening off the court. I want to kind of start with my story of the weekend as far as when it comes to the NBA. Another sad chapter in the life of AKA Ja Morant, aka NBA young boy, aka Young Thugger. Yes, I know it's a sad weekend for you 76ers fans, Miss Murphy. We're going to kind of get into it, but hey, I wanted to kind of pay homage to the MVP. You know, give him his love, give him his flowers. But yeah, we're going to talk about Ja Morant. If you're not, up to date, up to speed on it, another Instagram video surfaced over the weekend of Ja Morant, I guess hanging out with some of the guys he rolls with, homeboys, aka the entourage, friends, whatever you want to call them, hangers on at this point, because Ja Morant once again gets caught lacking. If messing up generational wealth was a person in 2023, Ja Morant would be the poster boy. How do you let yourself get recorded on an Instagram live grabbing guns like you a thug, and you are the farthest thing from a thug? You didn't grow up dirt poor. You grew up both parents in the household, very involved in your life. You're now an NBA player. Why try to be something that you're not? You try to be hood, you try to be streets. And we talked about this early in the season when Ja Morant was having his problems. Ended up being suspended for 8 games due to, I guess you call it conduct detrimental to the team. At this point, yeah, I agree, Gator Girl. How you doing? Ja's a pure cornball. First of all, if I'm part of the entourage, more than likely I'm mooching off of you. The young man, and I'm not gonna judge them based on their appearance, but nothing about them says we got the interests of Ja Morant in mind, because we're riding around with this clown toting a gun in a car. Toting a gun in a car on an Instagram live video. Rapping along to some rap lyrics that he probably knows nothing about and he can't relate to. Like I said, if messing the bag up, fumbling in the bag, messing up generational wealth was a person in 2023, Ja Morant is the poster boy. Poster boy. I mean, just think about the millions of dollars he has already cost himself by his off the court conduct. Think about it. Ja Morant played well enough this year to be named to an all NBA team, first, second, or third. I'll let you decide, but he played well enough this year to be named to one of those teams. If you take away the off the court stuff, he would have been named to one of those teams. Ja Morant lost the potential $38 million by missing that incentive of making it to the all NBA team. He messed up on $38 million. because he didn't reach that incentive this year. Think about it. 38 million. Already cost yourself 38 million with the stuff you did during the season. Here you are. I know the season's over. You can go have fun. But let me tell you something. That's the kind of people you surround yourself with. And I'm going to include his father in that because I've seen Ja Morant's mother, but the father seems to be the one that wants to be courtside at the game, Gucci down to the socks, shades on, thinking he's part of the crew. He wants to be the cool dad. Nothing cool by having your son out here looking like a whole clown. Nothing cool about that at all. You sound dumb. You look dumb. And your son is out here looking like a complete, utter fool.
Bruh.
$38 million you've already cost yourself in your potential NBA extension. And I'm of the mindset of this. If I'm Memphis, and Memphis is suspending him from all team activities, whatever that means for the offseason, your season's over. What does that mean going forward if I'm Memphis? Is this a guy I really want to build my franchise around? Now, as far as we're talking about talent, Ja Morant is top 10 talent in the NBA, box office, bar none, puts butts in the seats, sells out stadiums. Ja Morant gives me that kind of Allen Iverson feel. Just that little man with the level of play, the level of excitement, the level of energy that he plays with. But if I'm Memphis and I've come out and said, Dillon Brooks, he's not going to be back here. He doesn't fit our culture. We're going to be more business-like going forward. Like, we're still want to have fun, but we want to be a team that is looked at as one of the staples in the NBA. Is Ja Morant really, and I mean really, part of that culture that you're trying to foster and you're trying to create? And when we're talking about culture, a lot has been said about NBA teams and the culture that they set, and nobody defines culture more than the Miami Heat. Do you really think Pat Riley or Eric Spoelstra would first of all would even have Ja Morant out here looking stupid? I'm pretty sure Pat Riley would have told him, "Hey, the crew you hanging with, nah, that's gonna cost you millions. That's gonna cost you, money. That's money. You $38 million. You just missed out on this past season because you want to be a thug. You want to live the image of an NBA young boy, and as Gator Girl says, you're NBA dumb boy. Until proven otherwise, and I don't care what you put out in the press release, nothing that you can say can convince me otherwise. You got to prove it through actions. Like I said, if I'm Memphis, is Ja Morant somebody that I could build around. Iverson had his flaws. Iverson, talked about practice and going at it with Larry Brown, but just the level of stupidity. I'm just gonna call it what it is. It's the level of stupidity I haven't seen a long time from an NBA player of this stature. You cost yourself millions, bro. You'll put yourself into a position with your talent, and don't get me wrong, Ja Morant is talented. You'll put yourself in a position to change not only your generation, but the generation behind you, and the generation behind you. God has blessed you with a talent. God has blessed you with a talent. You do know, every 6'1", 6'2" brother is not in the NBA, and you're in a position to where all you got to do is keep your nose clean. Keep your nose clean. And you stand, to rake in all this money just by being a basketball player. And it's the sad part. I'm sure, Gator Girl, you're gonna see NBA dumb boy doing some interview over the summer to, kind of rehab the image. This has also been reported that the little 17, 18-year-old boy that he allegedly pulled a gun on, I say allegedly, he's already kind of did a countersuit against him for defamation. kind of blaming him indirectly, and this is how the lawsuit kind of came across the news, where you're doing a countersuit against him because allegedly the millions of dollars you lost by being involved with him in this story. No, you lost that by putting yourself in a position of even having this kind of stuff questioned. Most guys to get caught up, pro athletes, you get caught up with women. He did this to me, or get married and have a messy divorce, and the woman wants to take half, and all of that kind of stuff usually trips up. And we're talking about basketball players primarily, but usually trips them up. Some woman in some city that you visited, alleged that you did. I mean, that's typically how you kind of set yourself up for the bad press moments. But I want to say this on record. LeBron James, along with other players, but I want to say LeBron James has been the epitome of keeping your nose clean off of the court. Keeping your nose, LeBron James' circle is the kind of circle that you strive to achieve, not just in the sports arena, but the kind of circle of influence, circle of friends you want to keep with you in real life. Someone that's, understands, hey, this man has put me in a position to make money. I'm going to make money, but at the same time, I'm not going to put him or allow him to put himself in a compromising position where that jeopardy. You talking about NBA players, man, and we're talking the top echelon players. Like Jason Tatum stands to make $310 million with an extension this offseason. Jaylen Brown stands to make about $295 just from playing ball. And we're talking about extensions. That's not even counting the millions that they've already made on the court. And then we're not talking about the millions of dollars they've made off the court with endorsements. Ja Morant, you have an opportunity to be the face in the next 4 to 5 years. You had an opportunity to be the face of the league, to be promoted, to be pushed. I mean, it's sad. It's sad, but we'll see. We'll see how the situation plays out. Like I said, right now he's been suspended from all team activities. But now let's get into some. I've had my soapbox moment. Let's kind of get into some more off the court NBA news. If you haven't heard, Monty Williams has been fired by the Phoenix Suns after their latest playoff collapse. The new owner, Mr. Ashiba, has decided to part ways with Monty Williams and
bye, Felicia.
Show him to the door. I would say this. This is more of a growing trend with the new rash of owners and this new wave. I've never seen so many championship winning coaches just be let go. I guess the days of a Greg Popovich are gone, where a guy gets entrenched. He's allowed to have a culture, really put his imprint on an organization. And as much as I talk about Miami, the culture they have right now, Eric Spoelstra is a major part of that. Riley may have started it, but Spoelstra has carried it on for the better part of close. I want to say, is he about a decade or more? I know he's been with the organization longer than that. But to see Monty Williams unceremoniously dump, what was you expecting him to do? You have KD, who is KD. Book is book. CP3 is old. DeAndre Ayton is not engaged. Every play. I mean, he got emasculated. He got murdered. He got ran through by the Joker. I mean, but what is Monty Williams supposed to do about that? Now, you can say about making coaching moves, coaching decisions, but when we're talking about effort on the court, when your season is on the line, that has nothing. That is nothing to do with coaching. That is a personal pride thing. That is a personal pride thing. I look at the Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic had nothing to play for this year, for the most part. Nothing to play for. Weren't getting into the playoffs. Um, but the coach down there, hey, we're going to keep playing hard. We're going to keep playing hard. That's the kind of culture we're trying to instill down here. I mean, look at Miami. Miami has 3 undrafted players that are key figures into their rotation. 2 of them start. And a lot, Eric Spoelstra puts them in a position to win with the coaching. But a lot of that, hey, when you watch the Heat play, hey, they're going to give maximum effort. Those guys, they play with pride. I mean, so what is Monty Williams supposed to do with that? Katie Girl says, I expected them to dump Ayton and Cliff Paul. But see, in a perfect world, they would have got rid of Ayton. Because think about it, they really didn't want to sign him in the offseason. Indiana kind of forced their hand and, offered him a contract that Phoenix, didn't think he was going to get on the market. And they ended up matching it. Now with Paul is made millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars over. I mean, at this point, no one's going to trade for him, not for that contract. So you might be looking at him getting waived, but the head coach is always the easiest piece to fix. When we're talking about sports franchises, hey, I can't get rid of the superstar. I can't trade the superstar. Think about Brooklyn. First person that was gone when that stuff started going south, the head coach. Hell, take my Lakers. If Vogel was an okay coach, championship winning coach, but just didn't have the correct pieces to win. I mean, he's not the GM. He's not the owner. I just play, I had the guys that I have, and that's what it was. Monty Williams, I think, had a much better team before the KD trade. I think that, somebody felt pressed, wanted to make a splash. You gave up the best part of your team. Some on the defense and the versatility you had with the guys you got rid of for one dude. And let's stop this notion that, KD, you rose the Warriors' coattails to 2 rings. But you contributed along the run, but you wasn't the focal point, dude. When you showing you've been by yourself in Brooklyn, you don't pass the smell test. Yeah, they were better before KD. I agree. I think they had a better team, but I don't think ownership was patient enough. KD kind of put it out there. Yeah, if I was gonna get traded, I want to go to a team like Phoenix. Phoenix gutted their whole team. And Brooklyn, despite their limitations as far as talent, played a lot better against the 76ers than Phoenix played against Denver. Yeah, that's neither here nor there. Now let's get back to possibly the next coaching change that's about to happen. Recap. Jason Tatum went off game 7, 51 points. NBA record, was cooking. I mean, in fuego. Some takeaways I have from yesterday's game and the series as a whole. First of all, once again, congratulations to the Boston Celtics and their fans. Your team is back in the Eastern Conference Final for like the umpteenth time in history. Now let's talk about 76ers, and I kind of get into a preview of the Eastern Conference Final after that. 76ers, what do you do? I would like Doc to finish out. Doc says he has about maybe 2 more years of coaching. I like Doc to kind of finish out. I don't think Doc did a bad job. I think he could have made some adjustments, but it wasn't like he got out coached. It wasn't like he got out coached. Anybody to watch Game 7? Can y'all tell me where was James Harden at? And all of a sudden, the excuses start coming in from Philly. Well, Joel was hurt. You can tell. Hey, we've been knew it was hurt. But you weren't making those excuses when they was winning. with Joel in this series. So don't make those excuses now when they lost. If you couldn't go, you couldn't go. You know, the best ability in sports is what? Availability. If you can't go, you can't go. I mean, you guys play, you know, I don't buy that excuse. You was playing winning basketball, and as bad as they was playing, you was in the game in the first half. I'm not going to sit here and lay that 33-10 third quarter at Doc's feet, you know, solely because you guys have got to go out there, have some personal pride about yourself. Like, hey, I ain't going out like that. I am not going out like that. No excuses from me, Miss Murphy. Hey, I didn't say it was you, but like I said, I've heard excuses, you know, being bantered around, and Joel was hurt, and you know, I don't know, some looked off with Harden. You didn't come in there with a winning mindset. Coming in with a winning mindset. Now you got questions going into the offseason. Will the 76ers keep Doc? Will James Harden stay? If I'm James Harden, if I'm serious about winning a ring, unless I'm willing to go take the minimum to go play for another one of these playoff teams, you might as well stick to where you at. You know, if you I heard the rumor all year, James Harden wants to go back to Houston. Go to Houston for what? Houston is not, and I like, you know, the signing of Ime Udoka as the coach. I like some of the talent and the pieces they have down in Houston, and potentially have the number 1 overall pick. I mean, James Harden going to go there and do what? Houston is years away from being a legitimate playoff threat, especially in the Western Conference. Years away. Yeah, the girl says Doc needs to go coach to Shanghai. I think Doc did okay. I mean, all things considered, it wasn't like Doc got out coached. I don't think Doc got out coached. I mean, he had a good, you know, decent enough game plan in the first half, because it was like, you know, yeah, Tatum went off and it ended up being a runaway, but it wasn't a whole runaway the whole game. Like, as bad as Harden and Embiid played, they was in the game first half. Now, if I'm Doc, the only thing I regret maybe not waiting too long. After Tatum has already got about 30 up, okay, maybe we start putting some real pressure on him to get the ball out of his hands. That's about the only coaching question I would have for Doc. But, you know, congratulations to 76ers making it as far as you have made it. Well, it's always next season. Always next season. And as we move on from the conference semifinals in the Eastern Conference, let's talk about the finals. You got the Heat, road team, lowest seed, 8th seed, against Boston Celtics, who came in as one of the favorites coming out of the East and have home court, of course. I think this series is going to be closer than a lot of people think. I think Jimmy Butler is I mean, I've been saying it, he's been due. You know, he went off in the first round, kind of, still was doing his work in against the Knicks, but I think he's due. I think he's due. And I like the way that the Miami plays. I like the style that they play. I think it can give Boston some headaches. But I do have Boston coming out of the East, but I think the series will be a lot closer. Now, I don't know if it'll be 7 games. I'm not going to go that far. But I think, you know, Miami, you won't see Miami play with the effort that you saw Philadelphia play with yesterday. You won't see it. That's not the culture. That is not how they're built. So I think that'll be a lot closer series. And then, you know, as we kind of transition away from the Eastern Conference, I want to kind of slide on over to the Western Conference. First of all, if you're late to the show and you don't know what the hell going on in sports, Denver Nuggets, the number 1 seed, against the number 7 seed, the LA Lakers. If you had the Lakers making it to the Western Conference Finals, Yeah, you can take that to the bank. I don't think too many people had it, and I'm a fan. I didn't have them going to the Western Conference Finals, but I thought they would have a good showing. Have a good showing. Beat a tough Golden State team. Now is the matchup of matchups. I probably think, as far as box office goes, if I could have a matchup based on how players have played in the playoffs, I mean, the Joker against AD. I think the Joker presents a different kind of challenge, a different kind of challenge for AD. I don't think AD is going to be able to be roam. First of all, I know he's not be able to just be roaming the paint freely. Because the Joke can take you out top, can take you beyond 3-point range, and he's not just deadly as a scorer. You know, you put him up top, high post, the vision. I think AD is going to have to be on his best best behavior. I think AD, for me, AD is probably going to have to focus more on defense than offense for this series for the Lakers to have a chance. Like I said, I do believe the Lakers have a chance, but I think AD is going to have to focus more on the defensive end. He's got to. You can't let Yoke just come down and get what he wants. And that was the problem with the Phoenix series. DeAndre Ayton wasn't challenging him. Like, he wanted no part of him in the post. Didn't look comfortable out. Like, I don't want no parts of this dude in this, But I think AD, for the Lakers to have a chance, he's going to have to be more of a defensive, even more so than he's been in these playoffs. Be more of a defensive person, because Jokic is not somebody you can allow to be moving freely. You got to keep a body on, and I think AD is quick enough to keep up with him. I think he's got the low post defense to kind of bother Jokic a little bit. But it's going to be an interesting matchup out there. But I think, like I said, AD is going to have to be more of a defensive person, and I'm expecting, based on how the rosters are kind of set up, if I'm LeBron James, I got to be more of a offensive force in this series. I don't think LeBron is going to have the luxury of kind of sitting back, allowing the game to come to him. I think he's going to have to take advantage of his matchup, whether it be Aaron Gordon or Michael Porter Jr. guarding him. He's going to have to take these boys to task, put a lot of pressure on Denver's defense, get to the foul line, get these boys in foul trouble. It's going to be a good series. Of course, you know who I'm. You already know who I'm going with. You already know it's going to be Team Lake Show all day. It's going to be Team Lake Show all day, but I think it's going to be a good series. Series starts tomorrow. I want to say the Eastern Conference kind of kicks off on Wednesday. I'm kind of glad it's down to these four teams. NBA schedules can't mess up this round. I hope not. I haven't even looked at the TV times for this kind of stuff. I'm gonna do something I normally don't do, because I don't have these shows go too long. Anybody, if you're out there in the crowd, in the whatever, I'll drop the link, but I'm kind of keep flowing. So yeah, I got Lakers. Celtics is the finals. That's my finals picks coming out of this. I have to see what kind of shape both teams are in coming out of the conference finals, but I think Boston, you're gonna be in for a dogfight. Now, I do think you have the better team. I think you're gonna be able to kind of pull it off when it matters most. But I think it's gonna be a lot tougher than you think. I don't think Miami's built to roll over. I don't think the culture is built like that. And Denver, this is what they've talked about this. Last time they was in a position to go somewhere deep into the playoffs, Lakers stood in their way. We're talking about the bubble year. Jamal Murray is back to playoff form. Jokic is playing at an insane level right now. Do he get it together against AD? Like I said, it's going to be Darvin Ham. You're going to have to show that you can make adjustments game by game. You did a very good job against Golden State, but Denver is a different kind of monster. I think I'm looking forward to it. Game one is going to really kind of set the tone for the series. Who's going to come out? I think winner of game one. I know, Gator Girl, you got Denver in 7. Hey, I know you got Denver. You've been riding with Yoke, but hey, I'm picking Team Lake Show all day. Team Lake Show. I'm not gonna go by how many games. I'm not gonna be that arrogant, but shit, fuck it. I'm a Lakers fan. You got Denver in 7. I got the Lakers in 6. I think Lakers steal game 1 on the road. Kind of set the tone for the series. Split up in Denver. Come back home. Win both. Lose in Denver and close it out at 6 at home. I think we can compete with Denver when we're talking about depth. I think AD is going to be more focused on the defensive end, but I think he presents a different challenge for Yoke when Yoke is on defense. I mean, cause let's keep it a buck. Yoke can't really play nobody on the opposite end. It's going to make him do some kind of work on the defensive end. So yeah, I got Lakers in 6. You got it. You heard it here first. Lakers in 6. I want to see. Matter of fact, let me look see when the game tip off tomorrow. So I may do tomorrow's show. Hold on. I may do tomorrow's show at 8:30. Oh no, I may do it at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock seems, like I said, a nice round number. Trying to get in the habit of doing these at a certain time. What's tip off tomorrow? 8:30 is the tip off tomorrow. So yeah, I'll do 8 o'clock tomorrow. Wednesday. So all these games are 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. 8:30 tip offs. So 8 o'clock. Gonna be kind of the start time, end time for these shows. Okay. So yeah. I think that's about it as far as NBA news. Nothing really coming out of the NFL. You do have some early reports coming out about OTAs, but I can't get excited about OTAs. It's just glorified extended practices for young guys. But you had some reports coming out of OTAs. Will Levis has looked okay in the OTAs. Bryce Young, it looked like they say he has control of the offense. It's OTAs. Pump your brakes. It's not live action. It's not live. I don't get too hyped about reports that come out during the quote unquote off season, preseason for the NFL, because of course it's going to give glowing reports about how guys are looking. You'll hear a report in the next week or two. Brett Favre is really in click with the team. Like, pump your brakes. So you got Miami in 6, Denver versus Miami in the finals. I'm gonna hold you to that, Gator Girl. I'm going to hold you. Titans did have the best season schedule unveiled on social media. Yeah, a lot of teams, it's like, the NFL was kind of slow dragging, like releasing certain games. A lot of these teams are like, we're going to do our own thing, release our own goddamn schedule. We know what it is, so why are we waiting? And it was a good show. But like I said, when we get closer to the NFL season, probably about week 3 of the preseason, we'll really do a real season preview, division by division, team by team. But yeah, I don't get too hyped about OTAs and what guys are doing and the summer. No, I don't get too hyped about it. But anyway, let me get up on out of here, man. I appreciate everybody coming in, and remember to like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Appreciate everybody for liking the shorts, watching the video, watching the highlights. I will be trying to add something a little bit different in the coming weeks to the show, not just highlights. Want to add like some little short uploads, some little commentary on key things, but be on the lookout for that in the coming weeks and months. Sometimes like this summer, once I kind of get my schedule settled down with this, I'm gonna be doing something like that. Before I get up out of here, make sure, as in 5 minutes on the show. if the Lakers lose, give me 5. You know what? If we lose, Gator Girl, I'll give you 5. I'll give you 5. Matter of fact, we'll make it even better. I'll give you 5 minutes. I'll throw up one of my banners dedicated to your Gators. Have that playing the whole time, or whoever you want me to put up for your banner, have that play the whole time while you talk your trash, because you've been waiting a long time. You thought we was dead in the regular season. You thought we was dead in round one. You thought we was dead against the Warriors. You get 5 minutes if the Joker puts out the King. You get 5 minutes uninterrupted. I won't say a word. Remember last time you said that? Yeah. So yeah, you and your picks. But anyway, let me get up out of here. Like I said, remember, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll be back tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Breaking the latest news, doing a quick preview before tip off for the Lakers Nuggets series. Tip off's 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, I believe. But until then, hey, be safe out there. Hope you have a good day. Hope you have a good week. Still no outro, but I'm out.